Hello, my name is Tarris Troy Horton, and I'm running for one of 6 spots for Dayton, Kentucky's City Council. One of my clients asked me, why are you running? You got your house, you and your wife are settled in, you just got married. Let me explain. It's going to be a broad stroke of the brush where I'm just going to try to condense this. And the reason I'm running for City Council, I believe in fostering a vibrant, inclusive, and sustainable community for all residents. My mission is to listen to the voices of Dayton, prioritize local needs, and implement innovative solutions that uplift our neighborhood. Together, we can enhance public services, promote economic growth, and ensure a brighter future for our children and families. Because Dayton, it's time. It's time for a positive change. It's time to bring adult recreation back to our community. And it's time to have transparency from our elected officials. I'm willing to do all 3 of those things. I want to bring fresh, new ideas, someone who's experienced in vitalizing and revitalizing River City. It's time. It's time to bring adult recreations back to Dayton, Kentucky. One of my clients, Joe Ackerson, tells me about when he was growing up and he saw his dad and his dad's friends playing softball against each other. I grew up in Elizabethtown seeing Richard Thomas and Big Bill Pinkham playing on the Slater Raiders playing softball, and that inspired me to want to go play baseball, which builds into teamwork. A community that has a lively, vibrant adult recreation, it just trickles down into the kids, and it just makes your community better. It's time for transparency amongst our elected officials. As I'm walking on these streets and I'm knocking on doors, talking to the residents of Dayton, Kentucky, I lead with, I am a common sense conservative candidate for City Council. Several asked me, why do you lead with common sense conservative? I want people to know up front where I stand. I am a center, right-leaning, registered Republican conservative American. I can trace my lineage back to 1888. My great-great-grandmother was born here, grandmother was born here, father was born here, mother was born here, father fought in foreign wars. I'm a member of the VFW. My father is a Vietnam veteran, a Korean War veteran. So I love my country. And I love Kentucky. And I'm especially keen to Northern Kentucky, because Northern Kentucky, being here in Northern Kentucky has been good to me. I've been able to get my education here. I've been able to bring my kids up here. I've been able to create generational wealth here. I've been able to put a foundation here in Northern Kentucky that I am just so pleased to have. And my community of Dayton couldn't be happier to be here. So when I would say I'm transparent, I'm saying you need someone who's going to be transparent. But the reason why I'm leading with transparency is because I don't want to mislead anybody. And let's just be honest. I'm talking about honesty and transparency from your candidates, from me, a candidate, somebody you have sitting on the board. If I'm honest enough to tell you upon meeting you that I'm a black, heterosexual, conservative man, that I can tell you these things, even though you might not like that. When you look at me, and let's just be honest when it comes to politics, if someone was to look at me and not know me from Adam, they would look at me, a black man, and they would think that I was a part of the Democratic Party, or I lean liberal, just because the majority, the mass 90% of black Americans lean that way. So when we get into talking points, and they automatically, even on the Republican side, if I knock on some Republican's door, and they're going to look at me and they're going to be like, oh, who is this Democrat knocking on my door? I want them to know that we had to take this partisan politics out of this election and look at things for what they are. By not sweeping under the rugs the apparent prejudice that I have, that you have, when we first glance at people in the United States of America. So I'm saying I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to tell you straight up. If you ask me questions when you see me out, I'm not going to avoid the questions. I'm not going to deflect. I'm not going to push you off. I'm going to listen, and I'm going to be that voice that expresses that to the rest of the elected officials, because the elected officials who are elected now are fine individuals, every last one. I just think that we need to raise the bar up on transparency. My name is Tarris Troy Horton, and my mission is very clear. It's time, Dayton. It's time for positive change. It's time to bring adult recreations back to Dayton, Kentucky. And it's time to have elected officials who are going to be transparent and be honest and open with you. My name is Tarris Troy Horton, and I'm asking you for one of your 6 votes.